Do I have a sound effect I was partially reacting to this morning? I don't know. A commenter down in the comments has said, gosh, you shouldn't react to something anymore. Do not dishonor the beding. I don't know. Hey. Howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day where ow. Yay! Thumbs up for pain. It is going to reach about 80-ish today, so I got the fan on in the window. Not all the way open because it's kind of chill right now. I have a fan on in the hall just outside my door, fan on in my window, blowing the cooler air out into the hallway. The guinea pigs downstairs are doing good. I call them Piggly Wigglies, but there you go. So it's doing okay today, and it shouldn't be, like I say, too hot, so I can live with that. I do best between 55 to 65, and once it starts going up, my acuity starts dropping. So thumbs up. I mean, I'm like a normal person. Nobody does well in heat. It's not like I'm unusual in that. So, yay. Still though, that's just the weather. Plus though, there was in the area just above my fan, because the windows slide open this way. One of the problems with trying to put in this house, this rental home, trying to put air conditioning in the windows is they don't open like this that you can shut it down. They go sideways, so you've got an entire open window above the air conditioning unit. And I don't have anything to put above an air conditioning unit to block off the window, and being on the second floor, there's nothing out there to brace an air conditioning unit on. So, yay. But I got that partially open, and other than that, we're doing well. But there was a spider, big old, aggressive orb weaver type up there, because it's open above the fan. I have to block it off with like a piece of plastic that goes above it. It's a lid off of a bin that partially blocks off the door, and it's a curtain holder that holds it up, so it doesn't do great. So she was up there and wasn't this morning. Different spider that got upset when I flipped the fan around because it tore up her web. So I don't know where she's gone. She was up there around the curtain rod. I'm not sure today. Well, today, this morning now. So that's the spider report. There have been spiders outside, but not nearly as many. Even when I compare it to just last year, there were spiders everywhere at this time. Everywhere you look, there were orbs. I've seen a couple. I mean, we've had like 75% loss of insects in the United States over just my lifetime. If you're going to have 60% less insects, you're going to have 60% less spiders too. Oh joy. But life is life. Taking a look on the rest of my list, because I want to talk about various things before I start talking about stuff. Oh boy, one of the reasons I had my video was different yesterday is I had to edit using Wondershare Filmora on my little laptop. And that's fine. Filmora doesn't work great on the laptop. In fact, because of the video cards and such, it even says after each upgrade and installation now, it just flat out says, your system will not have good stability or use with our program. But it's all I really got, and I like it, so it still works, just sometimes not as well as I would like. Yay for lag. But I had to do that because while I was editing on my PlayStation, there was an audio issue, and wham, some of the sound stopped. That was the weird point. Some of the sounds stopped playing entirely. system sounds included. Going to the main page of the PlayStation system, it wasn't playing a lot of system sounds anymore. Even after a reboot, it wasn't working. On the editing front, it would play music, but the commentary part, gone. I turned it off after putting the video file onto my flash drive, and then turned it off, and then put it onto here, excuse me, and edited on here. I like the editor. I don't mind editing on this at all. In fact, I would prefer to do it. It's just that I wasn't expecting that. And as it turns out, because my computer died and I got the laptop here, all of the various templates that I've used before are gone. So I had to make up a couple very quickly, and no time for any of the stuff that I usually like to do. I put in all the extra stuff, like the different layouts, the different type of filters and all that, because with my ADHD, my eyes need something to do while I'm listening if I watch a video, or I start to get a little antsy. And because of my ADHD, what I do is put things in where it keeps my eyes happy while I'm watching and listening, so it's not just a static thing with a little bit of movement from me. It's the same reason when I was making shorts, and I'd love to do them again, but when I was making my shorts videos, that I had the activity on the top and the bottom. Some people do that because of just flat out ADHD. I hate that myself. I don't even like doing it myself. But if I don't, it doesn't look right to me. My eyes, my ADHD doesn't want to watch because of the big blank spots on the top, because gameplay is this direction and I don't always want to have it zoomed in with 90% of the video gone. So there's blank stuff on the top and bottom, so I put stuff there in it. My eyes and my ADHD just go, thank you. Some people I have seen who were doing reaction videos, now they put the video off to the side, they put them down in the corner, and they have stuff happening above them. And I hate to say it, but on a regular screen, my ADHD likes that. My rational thinking, reasoning part of my brain hates it. But my ADHD goes, oh, that's nice. And I'm able to pay attention better because that's there. So, yay for that. Anything else on my side here? Oh yes, this is something that I have had. This is a minor thing for some years now, but it's a little bit more pronounced. But I have had, when walking, occasionally I'll feel, well, it's not that I'll feel pushed, but down goes, whoa, way over to the side. So I feel like a huge push shoving me over. And as I'm walking, I have sometimes ended up walking off the sidewalk and about 5 or 10 feet off the sidewalk before I'm able to get back up here. It's not dizziness or vertigo, which it is, but I don't feel like I'm going to fall down, and I'm not like, I'm dizzy. No, this is just all of a sudden, down's over there, so there's a push shoving me over. I'm not falling, but that ain't right. I guess it is falling in a way. It's just I'm able to recover because it's happening slowly. But that's been happening more. Yay. And I have other types of minor bits of dizziness and all that. Vertigo is fun. By which I mean, it's not fun at all. I'm already a fall risk because of my various nerve issues, my back injuries, which gives me neuropathy in my lower legs, especially my right, where it just occasionally decides to stop working correctly, spike into the ground, and then wham, down I go. Except for whatever reason, I have become, here, I got an itchy spot, my apologies. I have developed, while falling, the reflexes of a cat. I have only on a few occasions fallen just straight thump, and I am facing the ground. In fact, I can't even think of the last time that happened. I have been so paranoid about landing on my hip and breaking a hip that as I'm falling, that's one of the reasons I think I automatically throw this arm out like this and this arm out like this when I'm falling. So I go wham and continue to fall because this leg is buckled, so this leg is down, and this side is down and this side is like this. This side, the leg is not bent, and I'm holding this one out straight so that when I hit the ground, I roll, and just sometimes my back, the lower part of my body. I am having difficulty with words this morning. I got up a little bit late, my sincere apologies. As I'm falling, I turn in the air so I don't land on my hip. I land on my back if my legs or back even hit the ground before I'm on my back. And by which, the last time I fell, to try and explain that so it makes sense, as I was falling and hitting like this, I had my body kick my leg up and over as I was falling. So it just swung high in the air as I was falling, ensuring that I was not going to land on that hip. I've got cat reflexes now when it comes to that, and I have become nowhere close to landing on my hip anywhere when I've been falling anymore. But I am a fall risk because of that. I now have a gabapentin, which makes me dizzier, makes me even more of a fall risk. Yay! That was very hard even for me to understand, so if you got it, thank you. And of course, you've seen Amelia on my lap a lot the past couple days, or wandering around on the floor down here, because my housemates have been doing a lot of packing up with their stuff downstairs. There are a lot of things that she can get into, and because she's older, her stomach is delicate, and she's not always able to digest her food properly, and that comes up. We don't need her doing that or yakking up hairballs into my housemate's stuff. So I have had to keep her in much more often than she would like, and she was always going to the door. There are periods of time where every 3 minutes it's Amelia, no. And I'm sorry, Amelia, I'm not saying that to you. My apologies. I'll say wombat, no. Wombat, no. Wombat, no. Every couple of minutes. Just so that I don't trigger her. I'm not trying to yell at her, and I don't want her to think that I am. So it just drives me nuts, because I'll tell her to stop and she'll slink away. And then 2 minutes later, she's back there. So I push her away. Not hard, she's old, I don't want to hurt her, and I love cats, I don't want to hurt any cat, I just herd her away from the door. And then she's back 2 minutes later. It's not that she's going to get out. When I got the door like that, it's blocked with a big bag of sand. She can't move it, but she has claws, and she can accidentally tear the bag as she's trying to bat the door open. There are all sorts of things that she can do that would damage things, and that's not good. So she drives me absolutely nuts. But she's a cat, and I love her, and that's part of her personality, so hey. Checking the rest of my list, and the fact that it's at 14 minutes. Yesterday and the past 2 days, I have been talking about the sheriff of the town of Tenaskut and an EMT, the equivalent of in this setting, named Kelvin, who went out into the valley to go and try of the Tenaskut Valley to try and rescue a hitchhiker who had gotten hurt. But it was during a full moon, and they urged them to be careful not to look at the moon. They're coming out to find out what's going on, what they need to do to help. When they get there, the guy had looked at the moon and had transcended into one of the transcendent, 12 to 15 feet tall, anywhere from a ton to a ton and a half of meat and muscle, gigantic wings, and they need to eat to fill and pay off an energy debt. They were racing away from this. As they were running, they ran toward a ball of creative energy that had gathered. This is the type of energy that needs to discharge violently before it can work. So they need to get around it or they will cease to exist as it discharges. So they run around it and away in the hopes that the thing chasing them will run into it and get zapped. They'll survive. They're almost out of what they figure would be the blast range when, boom, the thing runs into it, and yes, there is a violent discharge. They get caught in the very tail end of the blast radius and absorb a lot of this energy. This is now where we are. Because what happens, they go back when they turn and realize they've absorbed a lot of this energy that flashed. Because the energy that went outward, if you imagine it as like taking a flash picture, where they stood, their shadows are where the energy didn't flow because it was absorbed into them. So their shadows were unchanged. Everything else around them was changed. The grass was still grass, but just slightly different colors, different shapes. Trees in that area, slightly different colors and shapes. They absorbed it, their shadows are normal, but when they turn, where the ball of energy was, where the thing that was chasing them was, is now a thick and wavering, as in moving, tower of green fire that reaches up to the event horizon of the sky, which isn't in Tenaskut Valley, since the skies above Tenaskut Valley reach up to our moon. There is no real, I just said the word, event horizon there. It's just fading out at that point. But it is about 10 to 15 feet wide, and about 30 feet up, there is like a volcano-like shape of just shaped earth, like a blast formation thing, except it's reverse blast formation leading up to it, that is made out of material. Everything that had been around there, everything organic, all the fungus, all the plants, all the insects, all the trees, everything, all the viruses and bacteria floating in the air, everything had been within this one radius, along with a whole chunk of dirt and rocks had been used to form this. So it wasn't quite organic and it wasn't quite inorganic, and it's kind of oily looking. And the longer you stare at anything while you're standing within about 50 or 60 feet of this thing, the wavering fire, the weird material that this shaped blast thing is, the longer you look, the more human pareidolia, where we see shapes and shadows and colors, and we form faces and other patterns out of them because we are pattern seekers as human beings. The longer you look, the more the background shapes, colors, shadows, the foreground of what's happening, it begins to look like the tortured and agonized face of one of the transcendent. And the longer you look, the more real it becomes, and the more you can hear the agonized shrieking of a being just being tortured. The minute you look away from that, it's gone. The sound is gone. What you saw is just background and pictures. a background of pictures, trees, dirt and stuff in the background, rocks and whatever. But whatever you stare at for anything more than a few seconds begins to take on that pareidolia effect of looking like an agonized face. A different position every time you stare at something different, and the sound is always a different portion of the scream. But you see the agonized face, and you hear the tortured shrieking of this being. And they have to go back and tell everyone that out there is now a new stable formation. Be careful around it. You can't keep people away. It's out there. But for them, the first month after they have absorbed, checking my time, absorbed this energy, they feel nothing. The second month, they start to feel really, really weird. From the 3rd to the 6th months, that's when things start to happen to them. The sheriff, and I'm going to talk about this one before I go on to everything else, the sheriff spends the next 3 months, well, 3rd month, 4th month, 5th month, and then, well, he stops at the end of the 6th. Starts to slow down. To their eye, they're going normal, and the world is going faster and faster and faster, but they're moving slower and slower, and in the beginning it's not very noticeable, but as time goes on, and the sheriff is just moving slower and slower until reaching into the middle of the 6th month, it's hard to communicate them because you have to stand there for next to an hour to listen to a short sentence like okie dokie just to catch it. And he is just becoming more and more isolated as the world speeds up around him. Toward the very, very end of that 6th month, he's moving exceptionally slowly, but people can still see and talk to him, sort of, and his friends are around him because they are his friends. But he reaches the point right then while he's talking to them where he just slows down so much that as he's looking at the sky, the sun just starts spinning like this, just zooming through the sky until the sun is just a shining band of light. To the rest of the world, he has stopped entirely. Nobody can affect him in any way. This is not a slowness that you can take advantage of, even when he's off balance, even when he is walking or jumping. He'll hang in the air while this is happening. Cannot be affected that way. He stops to all normal human vision and interactivity. But to him, he is seeing this band of light in the sky. And as it gets brighter and brighter, and the other sides of the sky get dimmer and dimmer, because of that effect, it appears to him as if it is a gigantic eye opening in the sky. But not caught with emotion. Not just a gigantic eye opening across the sky, but the eye of an accepting and loving God. And he is just emotion. He is bathed in the light of its gaze. Now for him, he's got about another 4 seconds of life left. For the universe, the setting of the razor's edge here, it takes 1.7 billion years for his 4 seconds of life to continue. He is the last living human being in the razor's edge in this cycle, when the sun on the outside has just faded and is almost going into becoming a white dwarf. when on the razor's edge they are disconnected from us because no more intelligence and no more life. Everything on the razor's edge is fading into that gray of nothingness. He is the last one left. It's only at that point, those last 4 seconds, do they stop. And that's what happens to the sheriff. I'll have to talk about what happens to Kelvin tomorrow, because even though I could not change the names of these today, I'm waving my hands around like I just don't care, but hokey smokes, it is use it or lose it, and these arms are not feeling good today. So I was not able to change this, plus I got up a little late, so I'm really pushing here, so thumbs up. But thank you, each and every one of my Patreon patrons. You are beautiful and awesome people. Without these people's help, these people on this list, without their help, I would be hosed like a Christmas monkey. And trust me, being a Christmas monkey is the worst way for a monkey to be hosed. So thank you so very much, and to anyone who has donated to my PayPal and to anyone who has donated to my GoFundMe, thank you so very much. I get times wrong when I talk about it's like, oh, there's been a week, or oh, it's been 3 or 4 days. My ADHD, by the time I hit the afternoon, the morning feels like yesterday. I am time blind and I have no ideas how much time passes. So I will overestimate and underestimate wildly when it comes to time, because and I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. Turn out that spotlight. And if I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And I'm going to count on the fingers of this hand, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just stimming. RJ Mitchell, thumbs up, thank you. And sometimes Amelia comes up on my lap. Sometimes she is just down on the floor and sleeping. But she's been a lot more active these days. As much as it drives me nuts that she keeps going for the door, I love the fact that at 20 years old, she's still active. Her fur is still thick and glossy. She is healthy that way. She's not getting that scruffy, faded and kind of a nasty look on her fur that really older animals get. So she's still doing good. So thumbs up on that. We have Chris, thumbs up, thank you, greatly appreciated. Jesse Koskinen, oh boy, I sure hope that actual autumn starts here soon. It is getting cooler and that it's only going to hit 80 something today. So thumbs up on that. But hey, good to see you in the comments. And we have Young Men Fresh, thumbs up and thank you. There is Castro, greatly appreciated. The Headless Angel, boy, I hate having bad vision, who says I should try Baldur's Gate 3. I would love to. I love the Larian games. I started playing Divine Divinity back when that was like the only game they'd made. And I've been playing the games as they have come up to Baldur's Gate. What with the move? What with the surgery? What with my health issues? I don't have any money. I can't spend $60 and buy Baldur's Gate 3. Not when I need to feed my kitty cat. Not when I need to buy cat food. Not when I need to feed myself. I'd love to play Baldur's Gate 3. We have Kitsune, or let's see, Kitsune. Thumbs up and thank you. There are 77 Arcturus. Always good to see you in the comments. You leave very good, very detailed comments. I wish I could spend more time on them, but at least I read and appreciate them. So thank you very much. There is User, greatly appreciated. And then Raglander NZ, who of course is being more than slightly critical of me. Harsh but not abusive, so not a problem. And then we have the Real 1-1, who pointed out that I have had money donated in the time that I had spoken about before, but with my time blindness, that's why I explained what's going on with my head earlier. But thank you very much, of course. And then there is Floramu, always good to see you in the comments, and that is it. Thank you, each and every one of you. You get out of my head into the world and dealing with real people. Oh, It is appreciated. Oh, both of my arms now are sore all the time. It's not just, well, I mean, this is the side that gets so irritated that I can't even use this arm. This is the side that's just now causing issues. The lines of fire of my irritated nerves where it's coming out of the squash part of my neck and now starting causing issues all through my arm. Anyway, though, I got phone calls to make. I got somebody coming by to pick, well, not somebody, a whole place. Well, it's not going to be people from a place coming by to pick up my vehicle. My sister has come through for me in that fashion. I got my title all ready to go, so waiting for that call. Yay! So I also got to make phone calls to apartment places to try and find a place, because otherwise I'm going to have to try and live like in a hotel room with my stuff in a storage unit if I can find someone to help me move. So hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done. That would be good, a very, very good thing. Yay, but if not, don't beat yourself up. And of course, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very, very good thing. Now, not hopefully, since I got to turn it on. Yeah, hopefully the editor is going to work right, because I still don't have a proper template going for morning vlogs. So yeah, but still, you take care. Proper contrast for my hand there against the dark background. Have a very good one.